Boston is a city rich in sports tradition.
And the Boston Red Sox are the world champions.
It's good! It's good! Adam Vinatieri! The Bruins are 2011 Stanley Cup champions!
But of all the city's champions, the most improbable one may be that of a native son, Francis Ouimet. Before there was an Arnie or a Jack or a Tiger, there was Francis, a 20-year-old amateur caddy who won the 1913 U.S. Open in his backyard.
Francis Ouimet is absolutely America's first golf hero. The fact that he was able to put golf on the front pages of American newspapers for the first time really says it all.
I think that his story is one of the best stories in sports history. You know, what he did, winning the U.S. Open in his hometown at the age he did, and as an amateur. I think it's one of the greatest stories ever.
It's a story so improbable, you'd think it was ripped from the pages of a novel. To call Ouimet a hometown hero doesn't quite do it justice. Ouimet grew up at 246 Clyde Street, the length of a well-hit drive from the doors of the country club in Chestnut Hill. An accomplished amateur who caddied at the club, Ouimet entered the tournament as a huge underdog to five-time British Open champ Harry Vardon and defending British Open champion Ted Ray. But David brought both Goliaths to their knees in one of sport's most shocking upsets.
It was probably the most important championship in American golf history. That moment, Ouimet beating Vardon and Ray here, is the most important thing that's happened to American golf, because everything that's happened since then is a product of that.
Very, very impressive. I mean, you know, competing against the likes of Vardon and some of those guys, I mean, you know, that's unbelievable.
Be able to go out and qualify and win a national open. It's something that you sounds like a storybook. It doesn't sound like it really happened. And to have it actually have happened and hear that story and realize what it meant to the game of golf, I think it's kind of been a huge story for the game of golf going forward.
At the time of Ouimet's win, golf was still in its infancy in the United States. Less than 2 decades earlier, the country club became a founding member of the United States Golf Association. But Ouimet's victory created headlines and captured the hearts of Americans, and a love of the game soon followed.
It was really the jumping off point for American golf. After Ouimet's win, more than 2 million Americans picked up the game. You have Bob Jones, Walter Hagen, Gene Sarazen, players who were inspired by Ouimet's victory. When they heard about Ouimet winning, they said, you know, if he can do it, that really anyone can do it. And it inspired a century of American golf.
Francis Ouimet will always be best known for winning the U.S. Open, but he also won 2 U.S. Amateurs, championships that he said he cherished every bit as much as winning the National Open. And here we are, coming full circle 100 years later to the very same place where his journey into the American golf history books began, at the Country Club in Brookline, Mass. Kevin Walsh, Comcast Sportsnet.